Ik drömmer om bälten. Ik drömmer om döden. För stjärnor
Hi there guys, welcome to Viking Ventures. I'm Sam, and today I thought I'd do my ownership review of the Interceptor 650 Royal Enfield. Now, I'm going to start off with the cons first, so I'm going to be completely brutally honest. Some of the points that people highlighted initially before I bought the bike was the comfortability of the seat, and it was the initial exhaust that didn't sound as thumpy as people wanted to sound like, and the suspension. And so what I've done is I've got an upgraded seat for me, which is the touring seat, and it's absolutely fantastic. I've been out on the road and for about 4 or 5 hours straight so far, and my arse hasn't fallen off, so I think that's a bonus. So that's fantastic. And the exhausts are Zard's Italian exhaust, and I have actually removed the baffle so it's a bit more meatier, and it sounds fantastic. It's got like a nice, like a raspberry deep thump to it, and it's a bit of barky, so I think it's fantastic when you're flying across these country roads. I think it's fantastic. And now for the biggest one, which I heard a lot of people saying, now it's a bit mixed reviews on these. So people were saying they were too hard, and then people were saying they were too soft. So I've set mine in the lower setting, and I found it to be absolutely perfect. It just soaks up those potholes, especially if you hit the shallow ones. So for me, I just like bobbing along and enjoying it. So that for me is perfect. So my biggest things, which I personally experienced, which is not a lot, so I'm gonna be honest, it's the clocks fogging up. As you could just see, it's not the most clearest, and they seem to fog up after I start the bike, but when I switch the bike off, it evaporates, because I think it's the heat from the engine making the water rise and going to the clocks. Yeah. And apart from that, to be honest, that for me it ticks all the boxes for me. Now I want to talk to you about the things I love about the bike, and that is the handling, and I think it's fantastic. It's lovely around corners, it's lovely around country roads, and a lot of you are wondering, you know, what's it like on the motorways? It's fantastic. As long as you're not flying at 80 or 90, even if you could actually manage to do that, it's just for enjoying the ride. I like to sit back, take it easy, 70, 75 on a motorway, and I've done 2 or 3 hours, and I think it's fantastic for that, as well as, you know, the country roads and bits and pieces like that. So its handling is fantastic, motorway handling is great. You just got to remember that I have not put a screen on this, so you're going to have a lot of wind, like buff, and it does throw your head around a bit. But yeah, so there's so many options. If you go into Hitchcock's, which is a Royal Enfield, like a parts dealer, and you can get yourself a small windscreen, which is really good looking, or a really big one. So if you do lots of touring for screens and stuff, I'll definitely go to Hitchcock's. So as well as after parts, so what I've done is I've got the Royal Enfield's touring mirrors. It's like an anodised black, but complete metal inside, so it's not all plastic. And I've got the aluminium sump guard underneath.
How much was the sump guard?
The sump guard was about 70 quid, included postage from Hitchcock, so I thought it was pretty cool. And you just got to be aware that when you're going to put this on, you've got to remove both exhausts when you do that. And yeah, so it's just fantastic. Good on fuel, as Royal Enfields are most known for. Really good on fuel, cheap insurance, cheap tax. And you know, I thought we'll make this video because when I browse YouTube on this beautiful bike, there's not many wait for the car to go by. There's not many youngsters doing it. When I say youngster, I mean I'm 29. I'm not that young, but I see a lot of older blokes doing them. But I think there should be a lot more people at my age gap or even younger using these. They're fantastic. They don't break the bank. It cost me 6.5 grand brand new. and yeah, it's fantastic.
So just reflecting on that.
Yeah.
So how, if you are coming from, to say you've just done your CBT,
Yep.
you've just done your tests.
Yep.
Like how is this bike compared to the other bikes that you've ridden? So what bikes have you ridden? What's your experience?
Right, well, I've had Suzuki Bandit, I've had the SV1000S Suzuki, which is like a sports tourer bike. A lot of power in there. It's a good bike. I've had a Harley Davidson.
Or GS?
Yeah, I've had a GS 1200 Rally.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've had the various 125s. And out of all of them, hands down to heart, is my favourite bike and my baby. I love it, just because, you know, power's not everything. It's just, yeah, it ticks all my boxes, and I think a motorbike's a very personal thing. What ticks my boxes, it might not tick yours.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it ticks all mine. You know, it sounds lovely, it's comfortable, it looks gorgeous. Wherever I stop,
we'll start it up for
yeah,
the
I'll
viewers
give it a
later
start.
on, like,
Yeah.
But so touching on this, so if you were coming from like a learner legal bike, you've just passed your tests, would you, I mean, what's the maintenance like on this bike? How do you look after it?
Yeah, so when I initially got it, I did get it ceramic coated, and that does help the longevity, especially of the paintwork and the metal work. But the thing with this bike is, drive it, don't store it as much as you can, drive the thing. It's a work of art, it's meant to be driven. So I'll make sure I try not to do like as much contact cleaning as possible. So I'll use like special cleaners, and I'll use microfiber, like the hand sponge gloves, and I'll try not to, because chrome does scratch really easy. And then once the bike's completely dry, on the engine parts here, I've been using Solvo just to buff it out, and it gets rid of all this water stains and gets rid of some of the corrosion. It does corrode quite easily, so you have to keep on top of cleaning every 2 to 3 weeks. But apart from that, as you can see, I've been using it daily, and it's in pretty good nick. So it's not that difficult. The one thing which does corrode, which is a bit of an arse, are just behind these. Just around the back of these, sometimes it's hard to get to, the shock towers, yeah, and they do corrode. But apart from that, it's great. You just got to keep an eye on it and try and keep it as dry as you can. So if you do keep it outside, like I do, make sure when the bike's completely dry, you put a really good quality cover over the top of it. So another thing I want to get to about the bike is the clutch and brakes. And the clutch and the gearbox are fantastic. There's no clunkiness, it just slides in lovely. It's absolutely perfect. The clutch is gorgeous. The front brake is perfectly fine, single disc, which is, when you think about it, you know, that's more than ample for a 650cc engine, and it does the job. It's really good. The back brakes, there is a known issue for that. They're a little bit spongy. You've got to put a bit of force, but not too much. You want to slowly get into it. Once you get used to it, engage front brake and then slowly put the back brake on, and it's absolutely fine. So I've personally got no quarrels with the back brake. You just have to put a little bit of pressure on it, and yeah, apart from that, I just want to get the word out. I want more people to buy them, because they had such a bad rep a long time ago. But seriously, guys, I mean, this bike is seriously, this launched Royal Enfield. I highly recommend it. If you've done your test or you think about getting a bike, I seriously recommend the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650 twin, and it's just, yeah, awesome. Come in loads of different colours. Yeah, just put yourself a good set of pipes in the bad boy and get it started. And you're off on your way.
So thinking about it from like a I don't know, like a first time rider's perspective. So I want to do this because, as you say, you want to be introducing, you know, younger people to these modern classics, because that's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
So in terms of practicality, like how easy is it because obviously you're quite a big lad.
Yeah.
You're about 6'3", about 16 stone, you know, like, so putting that bike on the centre stand for you will be very easy. But just say if a young lady was interested in it, or a smaller bloke or something like that, like, how easy is it for you to manoeuvre the bike, and you know, if you go into the shops or something?
So the bike, you have to be aware of, when this bike is wet, it is about 215, 220 kilos. So it's quite a weighty bike. Which is quite a weight, isn't it? It's quite a weight to shift around. So put onto centre stand, for somebody who's not used to it, it'll take a bit of getting used to it. It's quite heavy. You've got to put a lot of force in your leg to shift it onto centre stand. But once you get used to it, it's all right. But it's pretty hefty. So a bit of practice, but after you're done, you'll be absolutely fine. Slow moving around vehicle, that's important, because I actually live in a town, so I'm used to doing a lot of you know, swerving in and out of traffic and stuff like that, and it's been absolutely fine. So you know, weaving in and out of traffic, it's no problem at all. It's when you're on it and you're riding, it's so easy to drive it. Sometimes it feels like it's a lot smaller than the 650, but when you come to stop, then you can feel all the weight come, and it is quite a hefty bike. Yeah, it's just fantastic. I can't wait for you guys to go out and try it and to see it for yourselves.
So what's the oh, sorry, just wait for these cars to go past. So what's the maintenance intervals on the bike? Like, do you know like the cost effectiveness of like the servicing, and so, you know, the regularity of the valve clearance and stuff like that? That's
a really good question. That was another one highlighted. A lot of people complained about the service interval. So they're every 3,500 miles,
which is quite low, isn't it?
It is quite low to buy, because some bikes are 8,000 or even 10,000. So yeah, it's quite expensive. It's just over 200 quid to get it done. But to be honest,
I think though, as far as valve clearances are concerned, I think 200 quid is actually quite a low price, to be fair.
The valve clearance is a little bit more pricier. They're around 400 for valve clearance. But the best thing about this bike is, so once your warranty is finished, the bike is so easy to work on. You can do it yourself, and there's so many online videos for you guys to look out there, which teaches you how to service a bike. It's such a nice bike to work on. It's incredible. There's nothing stopping you from doing it yourself, like other brands. Some brands make a bike specifically, so you have to take it to a service centre. But this thing is fantastic. You just kick it onto its centre stand, and away you go. It's really good.
Should we give them a quick listen? Do you want to?
Yeah, I'll start her up.
Start her up. And this is with the Zard exhaust system, isn't it?
Yes, and it gives it a very sexy sound.
That's got a nice purr to it. A nice sound.
Yeah. So yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. Oh, one more thing actually I forgot to mention was just a little bit look on the control panel. So the switch gear, it's really basic, but I like that. So it's really good. You've got thick gloves on. It's really easy. Just left, right, click in, finish. So really, really basic. Turn on the bike. There's no initial. You don't have to pull the clutch in. Just turn on. Wait for the fuel pump to completely finish before you turn it on. Press the electric switch and on you go. That's it. On and off switch for the engine cut out. You've got your high beam, low beam, and then that's your like a flasher.
So what is it like to ride at night? Do you think the lights are adequate?
Oh yeah, awesome. So the lights are really very, very good. They're absolutely fantastic, and high beams even better. Clocks are lovely. They're like illuminating like a bright white light. Really easy to see. and
when they're not fogged up.
When they're not fogged up, yeah, true. And yeah, you've got like a fuel bar thing, but roughly for about 13-14 quid, I'm getting about 200. Depends on how you ride. 200 to 220 miles, and I'm using the premium petrol as well, which is a bit more expensive. So yeah, she's lovely to keep on the road. It just didn't cost anything, and yeah, it's fantastic. So that's why I think it's such a good bike to move on when you've done your test.
So do you reckon it's probably about time that we took it for a ride and?
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
And give it a bit of a road review.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds awesome.
Well,
brilliant.
Yeah, well, spot on. Thanks for that, Sam. What we'll do is we'll catch up with Sam on the road.
We're going to give a bit of a spin. Just going to put my gloves on. And we're in a lovely place in the Lake District, just next to Kirby Longsdale. So, well, okay. Oh, I'm blessed with really nice weather as well, which is always a bonus. Okay. So I'm just taking in this lovely countryside. And I absolutely love it when you let off. You can hear that lovely raspberry, that lovely rasp noise as your engine goes down. It's fantastic. So yeah, she's lovely. She's absolutely fantastic to drive. Like I said, the clutch is fantastic. The front brake is nice, and the sound is just phenomenal. I mean, listen to that. Couple of little backfires there. But I think this is what I would like to do to this video, just inspire more people to go with Royal Enfield. Just try it for yourselves, and seriously, you won't look back. And what I love about the bike is that lovely retro physique, and I think Royal Enfield are really proud of what they've done. They've made the bike worth it with the Royal Enfield badge on there. It's a fantastic bike. It's good value. Like I said, good on fuel. Tax is great. Insurance is fantastic. I just think it's just perfect for the people who just passed their test, or somebody wanted to add another bike to the collection. Yeah, it is absolutely great. Or somebody who's maybe not been on a bike for a little while and wants to get back into it, then it's a lovely low power bike which will get you straight back into bikes again, if that's what you're after. Throttle response is lovely and light. It is cable. It's old school cable, so no electronics on this bike. It's near enough 98% digital, apart from the fuel gauge, a little tiny digital spot. Oh, lots of bikers, lots of biker friends. I'm slowing down for here just in case there's any horses or pesky cyclists. But I won't go into that. Oh, look at that road. Absolutely lovely. Well, I was having fun. If it's safe to do so, I'll pass him. Let's show you how much power this thing has got. Not much, but it's ample. I'll tell you what guys, if you do go with the Zard exhaust system, she sounds lovely when you shut off. It's fantastic. Oh, dead pheasant. God, what an absolutely gorgeous day. You wouldn't think it's nearly December, would you? I've actually got to take her in for a service interview soon, so it's not far off 3,500 miles now. So that'd be another video that we could possibly do. And I actually bought this bike in Preston. There's a Royal Enfield dealers there where I actually bought the bike from, so that'll be a nice little video. Remember with the pulling, and there we are, and there we go guys, that's the end of our review. Wraps up the video. So we gave her a little test in the road, just to give you a bit of a taste, especially with the Zard exhaust system. That was very nice. Yeah, it's fantastic. So I would, hands to heart, honestly, I would say if you want this, don't procrastinate, just go for it. I highly recommend it. It's just fantastic, but you need to feel it for yourself, not just, you know, listen to my opinion. You need to try it for yourself. Yeah, you need to go for it. And I hope you like the video. Like and subscribe, because it really does help us out. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Thank you very much.